The unbelievable survival story of Alexander Svalba, lost in the Borneo jungle. Imagine this. You're in one of the most remote and dangerous rainforests in the world. You have no map, no survival gear, and your only companion is the harsh, untamed jungle. Every step you take feels like a battle against nature itself. You're hungry, thirsty, and vulnerable to everything the jungle can throw at you. Yet you keep going, day after day. This was reality for Alexander Svalba, a young tourist from Russia who found himself lost in the deadly jungles of Borneo. It was 1997 when Alexander, a 24-year-old from Russia, set off on what should have been a peaceful, adventurous hike through the Malaysian rainforest. He had read about the natural beauty of Borneo, and after arriving in the region, he was eager to explore its dense jungles. Armed with little more than his backpack and a sense of curiosity, Alexander set out on his trek, unaware that this seemingly harmless journey would turn into one of the most incredible survival stories of all time. While hiking on a trail in the Danam Valley Conservation Area, Alexander became separated from his group. He wasn't worried at first. He thought he could easily catch up. But as time passed, the path became less clear, and soon he realized he had wandered far off course. With the dense jungle closing in around him, he found himself completely alone in one of the most unforgiving places on Earth. With no GPS, no phone, and no map, Alexander was plunged into the harsh reality of survival. The dense Borneo jungle is known for its terrifying wildlife and extreme humidity, with temperatures regularly reaching over 90 degrees Fahrenheit, 32 degrees Celsius. It's a place where danger lurks in every corner, from venomous snakes to aggressive wild boars and giant territorial insects. But more than anything, Alexander's primary enemy was hunger and thirst. For the first 2 days, he relied on his instincts, trying to find his bearings and looking for food and water. He managed to drink from streams and collect rainwater in his hands, but this wouldn't last long. The days became unbearably hot, and his body began to weaken from dehydration. Alexander knew he had to find shelter fast, or he wouldn't survive much longer. On the 4th day, Alexander's luck finally turned. He found a small patch of jungle that gave him some relief. It was here that he found a natural food source, fruit trees. Though he didn't know if they were safe to eat, desperation overcame his hesitation, and he picked some fruits, tasting them carefully. Thankfully, they were edible and gave him the strength he desperately needed. But as the days passed, Alexander's strength waned. He was forced to rest during the day to avoid the blistering heat and only moved at night, when the jungle was cooler. His hands and legs became raw from brushing against thorns, and his skin was covered in insect bites. But despite the pain, Alexander's mind remained clear. He had only one goal: survival. By the 7th day, Alexander was physically and mentally exhausted. He was barely able to walk. His body had lost much of its strength, and the jungle seemed to be closing in around him. He had no idea which direction to go, and every step felt like it could be his last. But just when it seemed all hope was lost, something incredible happened. While resting on a patch of moss, Alexander looked up and saw a glimpse of something unfamiliar in the distance. Movement. It was faint, almost like a mirage. But as he squinted, he realized it wasn't his imagination. Through the thick trees, he saw what looked like the outline of a human figure. His heart raced as he summoned what little energy he had left and began to stumble toward the figure. He could barely move, but his desire for survival kept him going. The figure turned out to be a group of indigenous people from a nearby village. The tribe was shocked when they saw Alexander, an emaciated figure barely clinging to life. They quickly surrounded him, offering food, water, and shelter. Alexander's heart soared with relief. After days of searching, he had found the help he desperately needed. The villagers provided him with food and fresh water, giving him the strength to rest and recover. The tribe treated him with kindness, ensuring he was nourished and taken care of. They even helped him find his way to safety, guiding him to a nearby town where he could get more assistance. Alexander was eventually airlifted to a hospital, where doctors were amazed by his resilience and survival in one of the most dangerous jungles in the world. It was a miracle that he had survived. Alexander's story is more than just about survival. It's about the strength of the human spirit, the ability to push past overwhelming odds, and the determination to fight for life when it seems all hope is lost. Alexander could have given up countless times, but he chose not to. He kept moving, kept fighting, and never lost sight of his goal. His incredible resilience in the face of an unforgiving environment is a testament to the power of the human will. If you were in Alexander's shoes, what would you do? Would you have had the strength to keep going, or would you have given up? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more incredible stories of survival. Together, let's celebrate the strength of the human spirit against the odds.